Our atmosphere is full of gases. There are several gases present in the atmosphere, such as nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. But the greenhouse gases are more important gases because these gases help in maintaining the average temperature of the Earth. These gases are found in the form of layer in the atmosphere. This layer acts like a blanket to maintain the temperature of the Earth. But after the Industrial Revolution, the concentration of some gases has changed drastically, thereby disturbing the gaseous composition of the atmosphere.
ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਓ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਪਾਠ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਉਦਯੋਗਿਕ ਕ੍ਰਾਂਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪ੍ਰਦੂਸ਼ਣ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਕੰਟੈਮੀਨੈਂਟ ਗੈਸਾਂ ਦੀ ਘਣਤਾ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਵਧ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਪ੍ਰਦੂਸ਼ਣ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਗੈਸਾਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਾਰਬਨ ਡਾਈਆਕਸਾਈਡ, ਮੀਥੇਨ ਆਦਿ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਤਾਪਮਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਗਲੋਬਲ ਤਾਪਮਾਨ ਦਿਨੋਂ ਦਿਨ ਵਧ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਨਾਲ ਧਰੂਵੀ ਖੇਤਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਬਰਫ਼ ਦੇ ਧੋਦੇ ਪਿਘਲ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਕੋਸਟਲ ਏਰੀਏ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮੁੰਦਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਤਲ ਵਧ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਤਾਵਰਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਗੈਸਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਤਰਾ ਦਾ ਵਾਧਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਨੁਕਸਾਨਦਾਇਕ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ, ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਹਾਊਸ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਹਾਊਸ ਗੈਸਾਂ ਕੀ ਹਨ? ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ? ਆਓ ਜਾਣੀਏ। Do you know, students, our atmosphere acts just like glass house and affects our environment. This greenhouse effect was discovered by Joseph Fourier in 1824. In the absence of the greenhouse effect, the Earth's average surface temperature will be less than 0 degrees Celsius. Basically, the Earth radiates solar energy, and some of this energy is absorbed by the atmosphere. This energy is effectively warming the atmosphere at the same time as the rest of the energy escapes into space. This process is called the greenhouse effect because the atmosphere is acting like the glass in the greenhouse. Let's make it clear through the various definitions of greenhouse effect. Definition of greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is a process in which greenhouse gases help to trap the thermal radiation in the Earth's atmosphere and affect the global temperature. Let's explore more about greenhouse effect.
Greenhouse effect. The heating of the Earth due to the trapped radiation is known as greenhouse effect. Here, the solar radiation from the sun passes through the Earth's atmosphere and is absorbed by the surface of the Earth, causing it to warm up. Part of the absorbed energy is then re-radiated back to the atmosphere. Some radiation escapes back into the space, and some of the radiation cannot pass through the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Hence, the trapped radiation causes the global warming. The trapping of the radiation in our atmosphere is known as the greenhouse effect.
I hope now you are well acquainted by the greenhouse general information. Now we must know some specification. As in the environmental chemistry, we study about the gases and its implication on the environment. So we should know how these gases contribute as the greenhouse gases. Let's list out the major greenhouse gases. Major greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, hydrofluorocarbons or HFCs, perfluorocarbons or PFCs, sulfur hexafluoride. The gases which can trap infrared radiation given by the sun to produce greenhouse effect or leading to heating up the environment are called greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਾਯੂਮੰਡਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਲਾਸ ਹਾਊਸ ਵਾਂਗ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਾਯੂਮੰਡਲ ਦੇ ਤਾਪ ਨੂੰ ਜਕੜ ਲੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਵਾਰਮਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਬਣਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਫਿਨੋਮੀਨਨ ਨੂੰ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਹਾਊਸ ਗੈਸ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਗੈਸਾਂ ਜੋ ਸੂਰਜ ਦੀ ਗਰਮੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਜ਼ਬ ਕਰਕੇ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਤਲ ਦਾ ਤਾਪਮਾਨ ਵਧਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ, ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਹਾਊਸ ਗੈਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। This graph depicts the distribution of GHG in the Earth's atmosphere. Carbon dioxide contributes more as greenhouse gas, while nitrous oxide, methane, and fluorocarbons also play a role as greenhouse gases. Currently, carbon dioxide accounts for about 3/4 of the enhanced greenhouse effect caused by the increase of greenhouse gases. The level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is increased by more than 10% during the last 20 years. Let's discuss all the greenhouse gases one by one. First, let's take carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is normal and essential component of the atmosphere. Its increasing trend is posing a threat of global warming. It is a greenhouse gas. Thus, it increases the greenhouse effect. The carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere was about 290 particles per million in 1870. Over the past 100 years, we have released about 360,000 million tons of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and still we are continuously adding the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by several activities. Let's explore more about these activities.
Burning of fossil fuel means more and more usage of natural gas, coal, wood, and oil, including gasoline for automobile engines, raises the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Fossil fuels were created primarily by the decay of plants millions of years ago. We use coal, oil, and natural gas to generate electricity for all economic activities. These fossil fuels contain carbon, and when they are burnt, they release carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Massive industrialization is also responsible for the release of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, because most of the industries produce gases during the production or manufacturing, which contributes significantly to enhance the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere.
Burning of fossil fuels and industrialization is not the only cause of carbon dioxide emission. There are several other activities which are also responsible for the enhance in the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere, such as deforestation. It is also responsible for the increase in the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Oceans are the largest carbon sinkers in our environment. Forests are the second largest natural carbon sinkers on the earth. It means that as trees absorb carbon dioxide, they release oxygen. This process occurs naturally by photosynthesis, which occurs less and less as we cut and burn down trees. As the abundance of trees declines, less amount of carbon dioxide can be recycled. As we burn them down, carbon is released into the air, and the carbon bonds with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, adding to the atmosphere. Population boom is another factor that contributes to the rise in the level of carbon dioxide. As more people use fossil fuels for heat, transportation and manufacturing, the level of carbon dioxide also increases. As more farming occurs to feed millions of new people, more carbon dioxide enters into the atmosphere. Overall, burning of fossil fuel, deforestation and agricultural activities release carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Its level in the atmosphere has increased to about 356 particles per million. But what can we do? It is most prominent greenhouse gas in the Earth's atmosphere. It is recycled through the atmosphere by the process of photosynthesis, which makes human life possible. The problem begins when human activities are distorted and accelerates the unnatural process by creating more carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere. It is increasing very rapidly. Human activities are accountable for this. I hope now you are familiar with the each and every aspect of carbon dioxide, the main greenhouse gas. Let's move on to another greenhouse gas, methane. Methane is a flammable gas. It is formed in plants where there is very little air. It is also known as swampy gas because it is abundant around water and swamps. Since 1750, methane has doubled and could double again by 2050. Each year, we add several million tons of methane to the air by raising livestock, coal mining, drilling for oil and natural gas, rice cultivation, and garbage in landfills. This gas has a capacity to trap 20 times more heat than carbon dioxide.
Paddy cultivation has doubled in the last 45 years. The area under the paddy cultivation has also doubled. This rice crop feeds around 1/3 of the population of the world. It grows mostly in the flooded fields where a bacterium in waterlogged soil releases methane. Livestock such as cows, sheep, goats, camels, buffaloes, and termites release methane gas as well.
It is an interesting fact that a cow or buffalo can emit 200 grams of methane every day into the air. Around 10 tons of methane gas is generated every day by livestock population. So we can say the human and livestock population also contribute to the release of the methane in the atmosphere. Now let's come to another greenhouse gas, nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is another greenhouse gas. This gas is released naturally from oceans and by bacteria in soils. Each year, we add 7 to 13 million tons into the atmosphere by using nitrogen-based fertilizers, disposing of human and animal waste in sewage treatment plants, automobile exhaust, and other sources. I hope now you are well familiar with methane and nitrous oxide. Now let's take up chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs have also the greatest potential to cause global warming due to their greater efficiency of absorbing thermal infrared radiations. Each molecule of CFC is more vulnerable than carbon dioxide. It has the potentiality to cause more global warming. Let's know more about it. Chlorofluorocarbons are very much popular as CFC. These CFCs are a general term for any group of synthetic organ compounds that contain chlorine, fluorine, and carbon. CFCs are widely used in insulating freezers, refrigerators, and air conditioners, and are posing a threat of global warming by breaking down the ozone molecules in the Earth's ozone layer. These are now substituted by hydrochlorofluorocarbon or HCFCs, which do not harm or break down the ozone molecule but trap heat in the atmosphere. There are several types of CFCs in use, such as
CFC11 is mainly used in large chillers for air conditioning in industries, while CFC12 is used in domestic refrigeration and air conditioning. CFC12 is also used for small airtight systems such as retail display cases, ice makers, etc. HCFC22 is a very commonly used refrigerant. It is widely used in residential, commercial, and the industrial sector as refrigerants, but HCFC 123A is introduced as an alternative to CFC 11 for large air conditioning water chillers to phase out CFC 11.
Now in India too, HCFC 123A gas is most widely used instead of CFC 11 and CFC 12. This gas also has the capacity to trap heat in the atmosphere. But the good thing is, this gas does not pose any harm to the ozone layer. Overall, we can say that HCFCs are most widely used in air conditioners and refrigerators. Several human-made gases such as hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, and sulfur hexafluoride, etc. contribute to greenhouse gases. These gases are released as byproducts of industrial processes and through leakage. I hope now you are well familiar with the most of the greenhouse gases. At a glance, we can say that there are several greenhouse gases, but a few gases contribute more as greenhouse gases. Let's know more about these gases.
Carbon dioxide is released and accumulated due to the deforestation, burning of fossil fuels, and vehicular pollution, while the methane gas is released through paddy cultivation, burping of cattle, and existence of marshy lands. But nitrous oxide is released by using nitrogen-based fertilizers, disposing of human and animal waste in sewage treatment plants, and automobile exhaust. Chlorofluorocarbons are released through air conditioners, refrigerators, and perfumes. Hydrochlorofluorocarbons, HFCs, are emitted through commercial refrigeration such as milk, van truck, and other cold stores, and sulfur hexafluoride is released through hair dyes, rechargeable batteries, and petrochemical industries.
After viewing the diagram, we can say that the main reason for greenhouse effect is the emission of gases like nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbons, and hydrochlorofluorocarbons. For all these gas emissions, human beings are mainly responsible. Therefore, the role of human beings in the greenhouse gas emission is accountable. Let's know how human beings are responsible for greenhouse gas emissions. Role of human beings. Most of the automobiles run on petrol or diesel for industrial, commercial or residential activities. Due to the combustion of fossil fuels, they create pollution and release harmful gases into the atmosphere. These gases in turn create the greenhouse effect in the atmosphere. Thus, the forever increasing use of automobiles has added to the problem. We all know that burning of fossil fuels like petroleum and oil, wood and gas results in the release of pollutants into the atmosphere. Another major reason for the greenhouse effect is deforestation for agriculture extension. With the increase in population, more and more forests are being cut to provide accommodation and other amenities to people. This has led to an increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. While the increasing use of electrical appliances also contributes to the greenhouse effect. Refrigerators, air conditioners, or some other electric appliances emit gases known as chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs, which have added to the greenhouse effect. So now you are clear about the causes of the greenhouse gases. Let's turn to the impact of the greenhouse gases on the environment. Modern human activities are releasing large quantities of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The major activities which contribute towards this are burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, extension of agriculture, etc. due to population boom. The net effect of increased level of all these greenhouse gases is increased greenhouse effect or global warming, which may lead to increased global temperature. If nothing is done to control the concentration of these gases into the atmosphere, then average temperature will increase. It has been observed that the average temperature of the Earth is increasing day by day due to the greenhouse effect. The increase in average global temperature can have the following effects on the climate of the Earth.
This excessive heating of the Earth would melt all the snow on the poles and different mountains. This would increase the water level of the seas, and as a result, the cities located along the coastal areas are likely to be flooded. The increase in sea level would have profound effect on habitation patterns and will threaten to submerge many coastal areas.
In temperate regions, the summer will be longer and hotter, while the winter will be shorter and warmer. A warmer climate will make certain cities extremely hot to live. The number of rainy days will decrease, but the intensity of rainfall will increase. It will increase the problems like desertification, drought, flood, cyclone, and soil erosion. Polar ice caps or glaciers will melt. Coastal agriculture will be submerged into oceans, causing food crisis. Due to global warming, human health will be affected. Increased number of hot days and extreme weather may cause chronic respiratory diseases. Insect-carrying diseases such as malaria may also increase. Animal health will also be affected due to spread of diseases. Ocean temperature change may also affect the marine life adversely. As we know, these greenhouse gases are responsible for global warming. So, we have to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. To reduce greenhouse gases, we have to consider few measures like this. Measures to reduce greenhouse gases. Reduce the use of fossil fuels. It will considerably reduce the amount of carbon dioxide produced as well as reducing the levels of the pollutants which cause acid rain. This can be achieved by either using less energy altogether or using alternative energy sources. Eliminating the use of CFCs is something we can actually do.
Chlorofluorocarbons are basically used as refrigerants in the refrigerators, perfume spray cans, and air conditioning units. Use CNG or electric battery vehicles instead of diesel and petrol vehicles and generators. Use LPG cylinder, electric heaters, chulhas instead of fossil fuels. Use the less polluting system in the industries.
Overall, if we want to control the emission of the greenhouse gas in the atmosphere, then first we have to stabilize the population growth and start afforestation at a mass level. We should try to use public transport system, that is rail or bus, instead of private vehicles, and try to use more and more eco-friendly products. At last, we can say that prevention is better than cure. Let us recapitulate what we have learned so far.
Greenhouse gases allow incoming solar radiation to pass through the Earth's atmosphere, but prevent most of the outgoing infrared radiation from the surface and lower atmosphere from escaping into the outer space, and this leads to the greenhouse effect.
There are several greenhouse gases that are present in our atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbons, sulfur hexafluoride, perfluorocarbons, and hydrofluorocarbons that are the major greenhouse gases. ਬਹੁਤੀਆਂ greenhouse ਗੈਸਾਂ ਤਾਪਮਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਧਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਐਕਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਵੈਦਰ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਦੀ ਇੰਟੈਂਸਿਟੀ ਵਧਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਉਪਾਅ ਕਰਕੇ greenhouse ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਨੂੰ ਘੱਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। Now, here's a quick test for you to find out how much you have actually absorbed. The first question is, who discovered greenhouse effect in 1824? And the answer is Joseph Fourier. The next question is, which gas contributes more as greenhouse gas? And the answer is carbon dioxide. The next question is, what is the alternate of CFC11 in refrigeration? And the answer is HCFC 123A. The next question is, what measures should be taken to reduce greenhouse gases? And the answer is, reduce the use of fossil fuels, eliminate the use of CFCs and use HCFCs instead. Use CNG or electric battery vehicles. Use public transports. Stop deforestation and plant more trees. Above all, the most important is population control. The next question is, what are the main causes for emission of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? And the answer is burning of fossil fuel and deforestation. Thank you for your attention. See you next time. Till then, bye.